Hi, my name is Vianne King, and I have been in a wheelchair since May of 1999 due to a paralyzing virus called transverse myelitis. I have had a dream since I was a very young girl that I wanted to inspire and impact the world around me. As I got older, I felt that I wanted to be a missionary, and one place I wanted to go was Africa. I wanted to inspire others to be more and to do more. And when I was struck with this illness, I thought that that dream had ended. But in actuality, my journey with transverse myelitis actually brought me to a point in my life where I have now the opportunity to inspire and encourage more people like I never had before. It was my dream to go to Africa when I was in high school. I wanted to be a missionary and travel the world and inspire. And so when transverse myelitis took my independence, I thought that dream had died with it. But fast forward to 2012, when my father-in-law invited me to go to Africa to speak to people who maybe have this idea that if you have a disability, you are broken. And so I was in Africa sharing my story from my wheelchair, and the response I received was so overwhelming. I had a gentleman tell my father-in-law, "What is this that I'm seeing? How is this possible? This girl in a wheelchair, she's filled with so much joy." And so today I have the opportunity to inspire people on a level that I never had before. And God has allowed me to turn all that pain into great power. What would I do to change the image of people with disabilities? Pretty much more of the same of what I am doing. I told you about going to Africa. Well, what I didn't tell you is a few years prior to that, my father-in-law was telling me a story about when he was sharing in Africa about me marrying his son and that I was in a wheelchair. And a gentleman came up to him after one time that he spoke and said, "How can you allow this to happen?" And my father-in-law was so perplexed because he says, "What do you mean?" He said, "How could you allow your son to marry a broken girl?" They couldn't understand that because in that culture, if you have a disability or something wrong with you, then you're cast aside in society. And so having the opportunity to go and speak into that culture, I feel definitely was changing the mindset of a person with disabilities. So I feel that I'm just going to continue to do more of the same. And I think that inner strength, inner beauty shines through. And I am more of a inspiration today as a person with a disability than I ever was as an able-bodied person. And it wasn't until I was in that room speaking to those people from my place of pain that I realized that I did have something to offer. And that's when I really started to understand that I had an opportunity to change the world around me. And I was literally going to the world, changing perspectives. And that is my passion and desire to help people understand that it doesn't matter what you're going through, you can find peace and joy in the midst of that. Do I think that my disability is an obstacle to overcome? Honestly, I feel sometimes the biggest disability is our mindset. And I actually view my disability now as a gift that God has given me because I've always wanted to inspire and to encourage people on a deeper level. And I feel that sometimes people are more paralyzed with fear than they ever are by any physical disability. And so today, having to push past some of my own fears, I am now a author, motivational speaker, life coach, and a licensed minister doing what I've always loved and dreamed to do. So I just feel so blessed to have this opportunity now on a grander scale to show the world just how important having a confidence and a peace of mind is to overcome no matter what your situation.